All right, what's up? We are here for Heat of the Week for week 5. Now, we've been on a bit of a hiatus from Heat of the Week, but now we are back in full swing and we're ready to get right into it. Obviously, I'm joined by my co host Sully,
Hey guys, we got plenty of heat to show you this week.
and we're ready to jump right into it. So we'll get started with our number 3 pick.
And with the third heat of the week, we have Slurpuff for Bruno versus Dr. Slaking. We see the Gengar come in as a sack to the Hydreigon, and it gets Dark Pulse. It just absolutely gets decimated, but the Curse Body does tick onto the Hydreigon. Maybe unbeknownst to Bruno here, it's actually Scarf, and the Slurpuff comes in on what would be a struggle, just belly drumming up. I think Slacking does the right thing here and tries to struggle into it to kill it. It's not going to do enough damage, we all know that. But just for a little bit more intrigue, it does crit into the struggle. And unfortunately for Slaking, the Slurpuff here just cleans up. He really doesn't have much in the back for this as a late game sweeper. We all know what Slurpuff does. It belly drums and then just breaks teams in half. And there is not a miss on the play rough, unfortunately, and cleans up the G-Darm with a Drain Punch coming in here as well. So that's the third on the list for Heat of the Week.
All right, coming in at number 2, we have Patmac and his very cool Grimmsnarl set. Patmac brings a Keyberry Nasty Plot Grimmsnarl, which starts its, I guess, amount of work done here as he brings it in on an Alolan Marowak. He gets knocked off, which makes his item useless, unfortunately, but he also steals the Fit Club from Marowak, which ends up playing a massive role in the game. So now he just sets up a Nasty Plot on the Skarm coming in. And he uses this to kind of just claim something as Lars is forced to swap around this, spamming flip turn volt switch with his bonds, and he ends up just sacking the Tornadus, which was also a big threat to Patmac's team. So this ends up playing a major role, as Lars does not realize that his Thick Club is stolen, and he stays in on the Marowak, which is the only stopgap from the Xurkitree really cleaning up his team. And the Poltergeist doesn't kill, and the Slowbro just kills back with Scald. And if we go back to later, in between his Zygarde gets killed, and this opens up Patmac's Subtoxic Xurkitree to just clean up the game. It just gets the final 3 kills of the game and really clutches it for Patmac. If it weren't for the string of turns with Grimmsnarl, I don't believe the Xurkitree endgame would have been as potent or as possible. And the set is just really creative, for sure. Special Grimmsnarl with Nasty Plot is always a treat to see, especially with Keyberry. I'm a big fan of Keyberry on any kind of special setup sets or like Calm Mind-ish sets. So yeah, that's going to do it for our number 2 spot, going to Patmac's Grimmsnarl.
And for top spot on Heat of the Week, it's Matt O'Shea's Porygon 2. This thing is an absolute unit. It ends up taking multiple Meteor Beams into a +2 Celesteela, ends up taking a Flash Cannon living, and fortunately for Matt here, he ends up running Discharge and does get the Paralysis like he would on the Porygon 2. and it just ends up out bulking the Celesteela, getting the Beast Boost copy with Trace, and then ends up getting a Spadef boost going into a choice spec Keldeo, and cleaning up the Keldeo into Diggersby. Really nice tech here, going for the Icy Wind to make it slow enough for the Diggersby to get it set up off in case you can actually end up breaking through the rest of Matt's team. But unfortunately, at this point, the Porygon 2 is just too bulky to stop. It ends up cleaning up the Diggersby with the Ice Beam. Does take 2, unfortunately, and then ends up cleaning up the Keldeo on the back end with the Discharge. So that's the top set of Heat of the Week this week. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week.